it's my first feature.
Oh, get a good look, pervert!
Welcome to Hollywood, the city where dreams are made and sometimes come true.
This is your chance.
I'll get you for this payaso! Betty and Paco aren't the cave superheroes everyone thinks they are. You and Betty are no different than my dad!
Well, nice speaking with you today.
Good to talk to you too. Thanks for hopping on.
Sure, no problem. So you play Betty in Clowning Out. What an adventure. It's kind of this dark comedy about comedian life and what you have to do to kind of get famous, which is kind of sad, right?
Yes, and I think also maybe it's about like being worthy of your dream. You know, everyone deserves to have a shot at their dream. And then when you get that shot, you need to rise to the occasion, I think.
Yeah, and then your character is probably kind of the principled one, right? She's got the integrity.
Yeah.
Kind of Paco's is ready kind of sell out. Well, I mean, yeah, it's very relatable, you know, because you kind of keep it grounded, right?
Yeah, you're right. Betty Kyle stands her ground, but she gets pretty messy too.
Yeah.
I would say, you know, she's not above getting a little messy too.
Yeah, but you're still kind of the voice of reason somehow. You kind of know, what you're getting into. You're not naive, basically.
Yeah, well, Betty also has a daughter to think about.
Yeah.
And so I'd say she has some things that really anchor her.
Mhm.
And when the world starts spinning out of control, Betty has a very clear dream and very clear goals to go back to that she's not willing to waver from.
Mhm. And what was it like acting with Alexander Alejandro Era, who plays Paco the clown?
So good. We didn't meet before we were cast. I was cast very last minute. I was cast about 2 days before we started shooting. And so we met on day one, and I'd say we immediately really clicked. And I think we work in very similar ways because we're both actors who really dive in from the get-go and don't hold back. If anything, we need to be told to like pull back. And so I really appreciated just his partnership in this. It was so fun working with him.
Now, being an independent film, did you shoot in order, out of order? So did you meet on the first day like that you actually meet in the movie?
Oh man. Yeah, we met one day before we started shooting.
Okay.
At the read-through though. Like yeah. I would say, you always shoot out of order, but we were lucky enough to have our first day be some of the first scenes in the film. And then our last day was one of the last days in the film. And that was really special.
Oh, okay. Excuse me, I gotta sneeze. You got a book, you got a bookend it, right?
Yeah, no, it felt right. It was nice to get to do that. It certainly helps things, I think, when you get to do that.
Right. And how many days was the production?
I think it was about a month, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was a little less than a month. And then we had a couple pickups in the year after that. Yeah.
Is this your first lead role?
Yeah, it's my first feature.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I saw you had a lot of shorts and some TV appearances, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And so this was my very first feature, and I booked it when I was actually on vacation in Hawaii.
Oh.
And so it all happened very fast, and then was back 2 days later shooting this feature with people I had never met before. And it ended up being such an incredible blessing and adventure.
Yeah, Betty and Paco have great chemistry.
Oh, good. I'm glad you think so.
Right away.
Too.
Yeah, they clicked like right away, I feel like they're opposites. Even though they're in the same, they're both trying to be comedians.
Yeah,
they're kind of on the opposite sides.
I agree with you. I think even though their timing isn't perfect, and obviously their partnership has a ripple effect in their life that causes some issues, I do think that at the end of the day, they found each other for a reason, and they're supposed to be together.
Right. And it's both of you are trying to be comedians, but actors can relate, because it's just a hard industry, and then you have some, questionable characters who promise you big things, you
Yep.
know.
Yep. That's
I guess you can
Hollywood,
relate to
baby.
any profession, right? People who are trying to lure you in for like, hey, you want to be a big star? We can give you this, but you have to
Absolutely.
give up some of your morals and your principles.
Yep, yep. Or you think, oh, this is it. I've made it. I got the thing. And then you find out that there's some nefarious dealings underneath it. And it wasn't, maybe you trust people you weren't supposed to trust.
Yeah, you asked Paco at one point, like, what are you willing to give up?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I also do think there's always that moment when a dream starts coming true where you do have to decide, right, but where are my values? What am I not willing to change about myself to make this dream happen? Because it's so funny when things start working out for you, that's probably the moment where it feels like it's most likely to slip away, right? When the dream comes true. And that brings out, I think that brings out like bad stuff inside of you, or it can if you're not clear on your values.
Now, did you relate with Betty as far as your acting career goes? Like,
Oh, yeah, I really relate. Well, so this was the first feature I ever did, but it was also the first project after the pandemic that I did. And I moved to LA right before the pandemic. And
oh,
so doing this film really kind of was my introduction to LA and Hollywood. And so I really related to Betty, how she kind of feels like an outsider who is trying to break in and is doing her best and doing all the right things, but she's really just waiting for her shot. Um, and the timing really coincided well with that being my life at the time.
wow, what a life-changing moment. You get to LA to do your acting thing, and then COVID hits, and then everything stops.
I know.
Right?
I know. Yeah.
Oh man.
Stay lovey, I guess.
And what was it like being directed by Sergio?
I love Sergio so much. We have a joke that neither of us are cool, but we're always surrounded by very cool people. And from the beginning, Sergio was really the heartbeat that kept everything moving. I mean, this was a very fast timeline,
Yeah.
and he really kept us on track, but also every day was an adventure. Every day I was either like in a sling hanging from the ceiling, or doing a car like a car race, and he really kept us all together, and I think is the center that everything revolves around. He's wonderful. I love him a lot.
And in the movie, Paco's inspiration is Cantinflas. Did you learn about Cantinflas? 'Cause I love Cantinflas.
Oh yeah, I know about Cantinflas and the dance and everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you know beforehand, or did you learn all about it during the shoot?
I learned it the day before we shot, and actually the first thing that Alejandro and I worked on together was that dance and trying to get it down. Yeah.
Yeah, you should watch some of his movies. And like the movie says, Charlie Chaplin called him a genius.
Yes, and I agree. I agree.
Yeah, more American audiences need to find out who this guy was, because
I totally agree with you.
our whole household, we love the guy, and he has like tons of movies.
Oh, that's so great. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So what did you learn from this experience? You said it was your first post-COVID
First
shoot, right?
feature ever, yeah.
Yeah, first feature ever. What was that? What was that experience like under those weird conditions?
Yeah. I mean, I for one learned how to be an actor who is at the top of a call sheet every day, which I think requires a different level of fortitude and the energy that you're showing up with every day, because when you're a lead on a project, you really have to lead by example. I think you kind of have to be a standard bearer that everyone else falls behind, and everyone is excited to fall behind. And I'd say Alejandro definitely exhibited that and taught me how to do that. And I'd say I learned how to do that as well, is be a lead actor,
Mm.
and not just what that means from a character standpoint in acting well, but also how you have to stand up as a leader on set.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you take this as a compliment, but I was getting like Emma Stone vibes.
I get that all
from
the
you.
time.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Some of those people are saying like, I want to be my own thing, you know, but
It can be both.
of course you want to be your own thing, but it's good when you remind them of somebody else that people love.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Thank you.
So are you hoping to get a lot of exposure from this and get more roles and be seen,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah, we're always looking for our next thing, man. I'd love for people to see this and become excited about following along on my career. I'd love for folks to care about these characters and remember us for these characters. And yeah, I'm excited for this to be a part of my like hopefully long career.
Well, definitely. Well, we definitely start out interviewing all the future stars, and then we don't get them anymore. That's how big they get.
Listen, I promise you, I'll give you an interview.
Oh. We'll hold you to it. We'll hold you to it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You'll just like send this as a receipt.
Remember me. Remember me.
I will.
Well, thank you so much for your time and much success to you. And thanks for talking to us today.
Thank you so much. I
Sure,
hope
no
you have
problem.
a wonderful day and thanks for caring about our film.
No problem. Thank you so much.
All right, take
All
care.
right. Bye-bye.